Hello and welcome to a special program of Cricket Predicta brought to you by OneXBet, Womeki Infrastructures, Delhi NCR. And also we have the WCL legendary team of the West Indies champions that are going to be joining us in Cricket Predicta later in the program. Yes, today let's discuss about Royal Challengers, what a comeback they made into the IPL this season, and they made it to the finals. And how? Yes, how is the question. Royal Challengers are back. They made it to the final once again. Let's rewind. RCB put up against Punjab Kings. Bangalore won the toss, won the hearts, won the match, and won perhaps everything that was to be won last night. The bowlers came up with on guns blazing and bundled out Punjab for just 101 runs. Yes, in 14.1 overs, 101 runs. That too at the most crucial game in their backyard. They couldn't have got it better, but the batters got it wrong. And then came the chase. Phil Salt stepped up, played a crackling half century in just 10 overs. RCB got the job done with 8 wickets in hand. That was not just one win away. In fact, they were just one win away from that elusive trophy that has been awaiting them for the past 17 years. The good news is, AB de Villiers, the former legend and the current supporter and everything that they meant for in the fan dugout, is back. And 3 times RCB has lost out on the trophy, 2009, 11 and 2016. Heartbreaks that RCB fans still remember. Well, talking about fans, we've got a big match coming up today. It's also the big fan match. But RCB will go on to Sunday and their opponent can be one of the Gujarat Titans or Mumbai Indians. Remember, Gujarat Titans have also won in their first debut, and Mumbai Indians, of course, have won for the 5 different occasions. But here's a quick recap. Shubman Gill's Gujarat Titans had a strong season, 9 wins, 14 matches, 18 points, third on the table. Meanwhile, Hardik Pandya's Mumbai Indians picked up 8 wins, fought hard, earned their playoffs spot just in time. Well, I've got 3 of the eminent personalities talking about 10 important points. Starting off is the Australian podcaster, Paul Dinnett. Paul, welcome to the show. Without Joss the boss, yes, Joss Butler, can Gujarat Titans top order still sustain their run feast, considering that Joss Butler had their high run rate of 9.93 and the second best in IPL, especially since Butler had a death over strike rate of 211, which easily is one of the best in the business. Your views, Paul Dinnett.
Yeah, well, all season we've been talking about how Gujarat's very much focused on their top 3, but to be fair to them, when they've needed their middle order to do well, they've tended to do pretty well. The big disappointment for them is that the break came at all, because they've lost their 2 games since the break. They were flying beforehand, and of course, Joss Butler would have been available for the whole IPL had the tournament not been delayed. He's now back in England playing in a one-day. I saw that England got 400 against the West Indies. Kusal Mendes is an interesting replacement. He scored a massive 100 against Australia in 2016 and hammered Australia in Pallackelly. And it was one of the better innings I've ever seen. And I've always kind of had an eye on his career since then. He had a real dip for a while and looked like he was fading away. But in recent years, I think he's returning to some of that, to that standard of form, or maybe not quite as good, but he is a very decent player. Was pretty solid in the PSL, but then has had several games where he didn't get a hit. So, yeah, I mean, it's a big loss, Gujarat losing Joss Butler. He's a pretty decent replacement, Kusal Mendes. But yeah, as I said, Gujarat will really be regretting that there was this postponement in the tournament.
Paul, let's move on to the second question. And the second question is about the bowlers and the death bowling. Yes, you've got Boom Boom Bumrah, who's conceding just 7.41 runs per over at the death. Whereas GT's Rabada is going at 11.57. Just imagine, Bumrah at 7 and Rabada at 11.57. What do you make of the combination at the death overs, your views?
Well, my thoughts on Bumrah, they're pretty much the same as everyone's, that he's the best bowler in the world. And I think when he retires, if he keeps on going at this trajectory, he may well be regarded as the best all-format bowler of all time, and maybe even the best out-and-out test bowler of all time. It's been interesting in the IPL that the 4 top-ranked test bowlers, have all been kind of going head-to-head. Bumrah, Rabada, obviously, and Pat Cummins and Josh Hazlewood, and that Bumrah and Hazlewood could continue to excel in T20 cricket just at the same standard as they do in Test cricket. Cummins has fought hard and ultimately he's had an better than okay season, but still not at that level. And Rabada, of course, has had a very disjointed season. The first 2 games he played, then he had the recreational drugs ban back and has been hit around pretty hard in the 2 games that he's played. You wouldn't want to write him off. He's a fantastic bowler. I'm watching with interest as well because he's about to play Australia in the World Test Championship final. But yeah, Rabada may well come good, but with Bumrah, Mumbai always have a huge advantage.
Well, we're not talking about Shubman Gill, but someone who's been under the radar and the shadow. The crucial name is Sai Sudarshan's form, considering he's given his 679 runs at 155 strike rate, especially with GT facing his elite bowling. Do you think Sai Sudarshan will face some bottlenecks, considering that Mumbai Indians know how to smoother the opponents, especially at the top order batting? Your views?
Yeah, what a season for Sai Sudarshan. It's been a really nice rise. Over the last couple of years, he's been looking good. He's averaging well. But this season, he's kind of taken it to another level. That strike rate, as you mentioned, up 10, 15 runs more than it has been in previous seasons. And he's gone from a very promising good player to one of the dominant players in the IPL and rewarded with an India call-up for the Tour of England. It'll be interesting to see whether he makes it into the 11. But yep, we've spoken even in this show about how reliant Gujarat are on their top order, and that opening partnership of Sudarshan and Gill, you'd think it really needs to fire tonight.
Well, this is an interesting question. Of course, this is one of the fan questions, Paul, for you. Does Gujarat Titans' low dot ball 28.83 give them a tactical edge over Mumbai Indians' tight bowling, who's got the highest dot ball at 38.12? Just look at the difference. 28, they've been bowling 28% of their dot balls, the Gujarat guys, and Mumbai has been bowling 38.21 deliveries. Your views?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting point. The side that concedes the fewest dot balls when they're batting up against the side that likes to get a lot of dot balls when they're bowling. But I actually think it's the other battle that might be more telling. It's the Gujarat bowling up against the Mumbai Indians batting, and specifically, Prasidh Krishna has been fantastic, but some of their other, looking at some of their other quick options, Mohammad Siraj has been very good throughout the season. Very, like a rejuvenated Mohammad Siraj. Maybe just tailing off a little bit in more recent games. Gerald Coetzee, he's an energetic, good bowler, but I think there's going to be he might be one that Mumbai try to target. And of course, Rashid Khan, who has been one of the world's great T20 bowlers for many a year, certainly not having his best season. There's been flashes of it, but then there's been times when he has been taken down as well. And Arshad Khan also, another of their bowlers, who is going to come under some pressure. So I think it's going to be up to whether those Gujarat bowlers can keep a leash on the Mumbai batting rather than the other way around so much.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you for your incisive comments. We also have Stanley Chiodza, the birthday boy, who's a coach, who's a former Zimbabwean coach, former player, and now he's currently doing his stint at the Sportive Cricket Academy at the Emirates Hills in Dubai. Stanley, can Shubman Gill's exceptional middle order 173 strike rate, yes, middle over strike rate, neutralize Mumbai Indians' middle overs bowling, which is just about 0.93, I mean, on the positive side? What do you think is the actual thing of the Mumbai tight bowling? How can Shubman Gill just break the shackles?
Talk about high stakes, talk about a pressure situation. Nothing gets bigger than this match today, pretty much a knockout. Somebody's IPL tournament is ending today. Somebody is going home and somebody is going into the next phase and play the very next match. However, it is Gujarat Titans versus Mumbai Indians, and all eyes on the new Indian captain for the test side, Shubman Gill, and obviously Sai Citizen, the two top order batsmen for Gujarat Titans. They've plenty of work to do, especially now more than ever with the absence of Jos Buttler, who's gone home for national duty. The top order has been the mainstay, has been the rock, has been the foundation where Gujarat Titans runs have been scored heavily with regards to their performance throughout the IPL season 2025. So obviously with a fantastic strike rate, not only at the top but even in the middle, the top order will be the eyes on the prize, especially for the Mumbai Indians bowlers. They know they need to break that partnership early, get those early wickets. With the fact that there's a new batsman who's coming in to replace Jos Buttler, not much game time at all, especially even in this IPL, hasn't gotten much in. So another target, try and get those 3 top early wickets, as it were. Make sure nobody gets an opportunity to bat right through the innings, which is what they have done. Expose that middle period and make sure that they try and expose that lack of game time. It's a fantastic bowling lineup you've got with regards to Mumbai Indians, led by Trent Bolt up the order, and you know who's back, Jasprit Bumrah, and what a revelation. In just the short number of matches he's played, he's already right up there in terms of top wicket takers of the IPL this season. That's the impact, the X factor that Bumrah comes in with in T20 cricket. But that as it may, obviously, we know what a high stakes match is going to be. The question is, Sai Citizen, Shubman Gill, do they go about their method differently? Do they hold back a bit, or they stay with the aggression? It's a high stakes match. I'd like to believe they'll stay with the aggression. That is what has been working for them. If one of them goes big, they're definitely going to be scoring runs at the end of the day. But that middle period obviously is going to be key, especially should they find themselves with wickets down early up in the power play. Obviously, you do not plan for such scenarios, but should it happen, the middle period, Shafane Rutherford has got a big ask to make sure that somebody has to bat through that middle period all the way to the death, and obviously face a lethal and inform bowling attack. So it's shaky both sides in terms of their road, especially with their last couple of games into the playoffs. Obviously, the odds are obviously stacked a bit against Mumbai Indians not having beaten any of the 3 top sides in the qualifiers already. But all that is bound to change. We know that it's a team full of superstars, big game players, big match winners, people who can turn it around. But at the same time, Shubman Gill will have a big job on his task, and it's about to happen today. Without promise, somebody's going home. That's a given.
Gujarat's middle order featuring Tewatia, he's got a strike rate of 173, and Shah Rukh Khan's strike rate is at 178. Yes, the middle order of Gujarat, considering that they have a very strong Shubman Gill, Sai Sudarshan at the top, the middle order seems to be even stronger. Hasn't faced much pressure because of the top order guys were taking all the pressure away. Can they handle the eliminator without the early top order stability? Yes. Let me rephrase the question. Bulk of the scoring was done by Gujarat Titans top order batters, the first 3 batters. Therefore, the middle order didn't have the gumption to take forward because they were sitting in their luxury class enjoying the sun, because the top order actually won the matches for them. But today, will they sustain the pressure like Punjab couldn't sustain the pressure last night? Your views?
The one aspect that is fairly evident, obviously, is with how all the hard yards have been done by the top order. In the few instances where the middle order has been asked to do job, it hasn't been for very long periods, pretty much to come in and obviously try and finish off a game where pretty much the good start and the foundations have been laid by the top order. You don't really plan for situations like a team going 4 down, 5 down early on. You don't really plan for that. But pretty much a batsman, your character, your ability or your persona as a batsman, your characteristics and your ability to handle pressure situations is pretty much on the job kind of learning. When you find yourself in that situation, you have to bring that other side of your batting abilities, your batting qualities, as it were. You're walking into the park, you're probably 3 down. This is the sort of scenario where if it so happens today that the likes of Tewatia and obviously Shah Rukh Khan might have to show that other side of their batting ability. It's on the job learning. That is the harsh reality of the IPL. It's very rare that you have batting practices, because there's just not a lot of time anyway. It's very rare that you have batting practices. You have to create scenarios where a batsman is at practice, you're walking in at in the middle overs at 40, at perhaps 40 for 4, and then you ask the batsman to try and recover for that. You don't prepare for that. This is on-the-job learning. So this is exactly what's going to be asked of them, should it happen. But obviously the plan is that the top order fires, and such that when you come in, there's a platform that's set, and you continue from there on. Be that as it may, it's not the easiest, because obviously the middle period's a very tough period to bat. But once again, you're facing a bowling lineup that once it gets on top of you, they are relentless. They do not loosen the shackles to give you that breathing space. So key is going to be the adaptation, the assessment, and obviously how you then turn around things to make sure, one, the scoreboard is ticking, two, you don't obviously lose wickets, and three, that you set a foundation perhaps to then tee off at the back end. Lots is going to be expected, lots is going to be required. Obviously they're looking forward to a scenario where the top order continues to do what it has been doing, and it's been doing very well. If they find themselves in a sticky situation, again, your qualities, they have to come up, and they have to come up at a day where it's an all-important match. It's pretty much winner takes all at this stage. You lose this one, you go home. So a big ask for a batting side in terms of that specific middle order side, where a big ask is being asked in the sense that they haven't really spent much time in the middle with regards to batting in the IPL. But at the end of the day, runs have got to be scored. The job has got to be done. Where the setting, you have to make sure your team ends up with a defendable total. Give your bowlers a bit of a leeway. Should you be chasing, be able to switch gears and make sure you're maintaining that required run rate. And at the end of the day, make sure you get over the line and perhaps get a victory over Mumbai Indians.
Well, Naman Dheer seems to be the new kid on the block, and he's done himself really proud of what he's done. He's striking the ball in the power play at 233 runs. And 206 in the death. Does he now pose the biggest X factor for Mumbai Indians in a high-pressure clash? Remember, the expected ones have a matchup, and the video analysis guys get their cameras zoomed in, get the positives and the negatives and the opportunities. But here you've got a completely new guy who's just been scoring runs left, right, center, and quite explosive. Your views on Naman Dheer?
When you have a batsman with the kind of statistics and obviously the ability that someone like a Naman Dheer has in your batting lineup, what it does, it allows you to have a batting lineup that has a bit of flexibility in it. You know, he's got fantastic figures batting up the order. He's got fantastic figures also finishing. What it does is, if you have a good start, you get the sort of player you can always push up the order and also make sure that he goes and complements the good work, piles on the pressure, and you're not worried about the finishing because you still have a Hardik Pandya at the bottom. Should you not have a good start, you can afford to hold him back and let the batsman who can absorb pressure, who can rotate the strike, and then later finish off, like your Hardik Pandya. He can play both sides of the game, go ahead of Naman Dheer, and then allow Naman Dheer the finishing role. So what it does, it allows that flexibility, allows you to assess the situation and adapt to a batting situation quite nicely and quite suitably. So it's always brilliant to have that sort of a player in your lineup. And I think what it does is such that you can plan accordingly with regards to, do we go hard, knowing we've got the backup to make sure we maintain the pressure, or do we soak up pressure should we find the conditions a little tough in terms of scoring, and then that means you can extend that batting lineup as late as the 16th, 17th over, knowing you still have power for that late finish if it's such that that's what the conditions require. So obviously, it's a bowling lineup for Gujarat Titans. That is obviously now heavily dependent on your Mohammad Siraj. Obviously, Rashid Khan has not exactly been in the greatest of nick, but never rule him out. He could turn up on matches like this. And then obviously Sai Kishore, missing Kagiso Rabada, I think that's a massive factor for them. I think because he's such a fantastic bowler with regards to his change of pace. But why is it that his change of pace works? Because he's got a hard stock ball. So obviously you're looking out for that hard stock ball, which means when that slower ball comes, it makes you play through the line or through your shots quite early. So Naman Dheer for me is a very, very key batsman, in the sense that when you assess the conditions properly, when you assess the conditions well, you look at where the team is, he's the sort of player that you can either push up the order and hold back, and it just helps you play accordingly to the situation with regards to conditions and where the team is at that stage of the game.
Well, Gujarat's overall bowling economy seems to be not too bad, 9.64 and ranked 7th. Can they contain Mumbai's aggressive middle phase scoring, considering that Gujarat has been having a very checkered bowling? Sometimes they're exceptionally well and sometimes they are disaster. So, what is your view on this?
It will certainly take all their discipline. It will certainly take all their experience with regards to the Gujarat Titans bowling lineup to make sure that they subdue a long batting lineup of the Mumbai Indians all the way to number 7 with the Namandia if he comes in at number 7, but still you've got Mitch Santner number 8 who can still hold the bat. At the end of the day, what it means is this as a massive, massive challenge, especially for that middle period that you mentioned, in that they've lost a key campaigner, an experienced campaigner for that matter, in Kagiso Rabada. Obviously, lots of teams have lost their key players due to international commitments. Joss Butler already has left. Now Kagiso Rabada again. And now what it means now is that they are now having to lose out key cogs of their batting structure and their bowling structure, especially when in an all-important match. Mumbai Indians, on the other hand, they won't feel it that hard because obviously they've gotten some fantastic replacements, especially up the order. They've lost Ryan Rickleton and they've brought in an experienced campaigner, somebody who's been playing IPL for years in terms of Johnny Besto. In their bowling, they're all looking solid, no issues there. So there lies in obviously the key for Mumbai Indians in terms of their batting. No real line of weakness, as it were. Obviously, it's just about how quickly someone like a Johnny Besto can hit the ground running. So perhaps Gujarat Titans would like to make some early inroads up the order right at the top. Make sure Johnny Besto doesn't get his feet going. Try and make sure to get some early inroads on that side of the wicket because Rohit Sharma, obviously, we know what he does, and he's a big match player. Yes, obviously he has been shaky. It's going to be another key matchup. Rohit Sharma, Mohammad Siraj. That's going to be fireworks. So obviously one of the other will be looking to get on top of the other, but at the end of the day, I think there's going to be plenty of work for Gujarat Titans with regards to their bowling from over number 1 right until that last ball is bowled. They have to make sure they continue piling the pressure. It's going to be hard yards, but it's hard yards that needs to be done because they find themselves in an all-important match. Stacks are against them with regards to obviously key personnel leaving. At the end of the day, somebody has to go home, and this is the sort of situation you do not want to be found in without your best 11. So at the end of the day, the job still has to be done. They have to trust their process and make sure they play hard cricket and make sure that without any questions asked, they have to do the job that stops the Mumbai Indians from scoring. They have a fantastic middle order. We know the sort of form that someone like a Kumar Yadav does. He has scored over 600 runs facing someone like Rashid Khan. We know the stacks are such that they are in favor of Surya Kumar Yadav. So there goes another interesting matchup for the watching today. So looking forward to that battle. That middle over battle for me is going to be very, very key in who takes hold and who comes out victorious in this match.
Well, that was Stanley Chioza. Thank you, Stanley, for the wonderful time off from your celebrations of birthday. But we'll come back to the cakes again. Now, let me welcome Anil Chaudhary. Anil Chaudhary, of course, is one of the most decorated, extensively experienced umpire in the history of IPL, who joins us from his commentary box. Anil, welcome to the show. With Rashid Khan enduring the worst season of his career in IPL or any of the leagues ever, he's got an economy rate of 9.47 and an average of 53. Yes, the average is hurting. The economy is not that bad considering you're playing in T20. But looking at Rashid Khan's experience, guts, gumption and glory, this seems to be quite a fading giant. Can GT afford to use him at the death again, where he takes little bad tumbling like 14.67? Yes, 14.67 and over at the death. Rashid Khan, your views?
Rashid is very expensive this season, and somehow he's a great bowler, and that spark is missing, especially in death overs. He's very expensive. He's giving a lot of runs, and that's where GT has to think where he should bowl. But still, he can do damage to Mumbai Indians because big players are made for big games. That's what I keep saying, that knockout games are totally different and temperament and test of nerve for all the players. But so far, Rashid is very average compared to his own standards. I think that's what we consider. And Rashid need to be more disciplined to control Mumbai Indians. Otherwise, as of now, he is quite expensive, especially in death overs. That's the area of concern for Gujarat.
Well, let's shift our focus now to Prasidh Krishna. Of course, he's got 23 wickets at economy rate of 7.91. Not too bad. Is he Gujarat's best kind of a bowler to contain out of form Rohit Sharma and Jacks underperforming? Your view on this particular opening part of Mumbai Indians versus Prasidh Krishna's 23 wicket haul in this entire IPL season?
Sid Krishna of GT, who plays for Karnataka in Ranji Trophy and now in Indian team also. I think he is having a wonderful season at this time. His line length, his yorkers, and his smartness in bowling. It's not only quality bowling but smart bowling. When to bowl, what to bowl, and to whom he is bowling. That is special this year. And he has troubled Rohit earlier also. And since we know Rohit and Jax are not performing as they should, although they have performed, but not that consistently. I think it can be very crucial battle between Prasidh Krishna and top order, including Surya. Why not? Because the way he's bowling and he is troubling everyone. So he can damage Mumbai Indians, and he's a bowler to look for in this game. But remember, knockouts games are different and big players are totally different in knockout games. So that's why we're waiting for Rohit and all other leading players how they handle this, and it will be a very interesting battle among all the batters of top order batters of Mumbai Indian and Prasidh Krishna, the way he's bowling. Let's see how it goes.
Well, Anil, before we let you go, I've got my third and the last fan question. Very pointed. Can GT score 9.4 runs in over in the middle over? I mean, they've been scoring that at the highest in the league, yes. When you look at the middle overs, GT has got 9.94 runs. That's the time when the trajectory falls down. The players, the wickets fall, the batters move in, the shots and the sixes come down. Is it the highest in the league? How do you see it deciding game, especially with Bumrah and Santner in tow? Do you think they're going to constrict the middle over opponents, looking at the way Mumbai Indians have been charging on, and Gujarat has been little too susceptible to Mumbai pressure? Your views?
The middle order of Gujarat is very good. They have performed very well. In fact, the top order is playing late and they're covering middle order also sometimes, especially one of the opener, either Sai Sudarshan or Gill. They are playing through the middle order and their average and everything is, I think, top in this tournament so far. But Bumrah and Santner, they can trouble them because these two are quality bowlers, and especially Bumrah, if he comes one change and he can really trouble Gujarat with his yorkers, angle deliveries and low full tosses, and with odd leg cutter which comes in but after pitching goes outside. So let's see how it goes. And center also with little spin, with little flight and extraordinary control sometimes. So it will be interesting to see how middle of Gujarat handle Bumrah and Santner, because these two are quality bowlers, and it will be very tight situation for Gujarat if they bowl as they are expected to bowl in this game. So it will be very interesting.
Well, there you had it. You had 10 of the best points that were answered by three of our biggest guests that you would find on Cricket Predicta. The show has been running on for over 60 days. This is Sunil Yashkalra thanking all the sponsors, 1xBat, Umegi Infrastructures, and also our partners, the WCL's great team of the West Indian legends, to be a part of the Cricket Predicta. This is Sunil Yashkalra signing off from the beautiful Marbella Resorts and requesting you not to change the channel. Don't go anywhere else. We'll be back after a short commercial break. Stay tuned.